Bank of America has said to short the S&P 500, and a lot of banks are putting their money where their mouth is because we can see that global central banks dumped US stocks last month at the fastest pace in history. Billionaire hedge fund investor Ray Dalio has said he's worried about something worse than a recession. What could possibly be worse than a recession? In my opinion, this shows a lot more downside room on the S&P 500. And then on top of that, Goldman Sachs says gold could plausibly trade around $4,500 per ounce by the end of 2025, meaning more money flowing into safe haven assets and likely out of the stock market. Now, most stocks are clearly trading in this same similar pattern today. Robinhood, Nvidia, Google, Apple, just some examples. And we are seeing some of them crack below. They had this W pattern breakout, and now they tried to hold support, but a lot of them are breaking beneath, especially Apple, looking like it's trying to fill a gap right around 200. And then will we see a bounce from there? Maybe, maybe not. Now, reason being is because I will give you the news in a second, but Trump was supposed to come out and he didn't come out, at least as of right now. That could very well change as I'm recording this video. But let's talk about a couple of things. China has officially halted shipments of several rare earth minerals to the US. And then Lutnick has said on the tariff exemptions over the weekend, they are exempt from reciprocal tariffs, but they are included in the semiconductor tariffs, which are coming in a month or two. So basically, yesterday, we talked about how confusing and chaotic this market is, where there's tariffs on, tariffs off, refund on tariffs, then categorization on tariffs, and then tariffs back on them. And so basically, there are not tariff exempt, they're just categorized, right? What is going on here? And this is exactly the point. It is a confused market. These are confused markets. I think that's exactly Trump's plan here. And right now, we got to talk about the charts, but I didn't tell you yet. I asked you guys, it's free. Just engage the algorithm. Like the video and subscribe to the channel, and then drop a comment down below. And make sure to have post notifications on if you keep coming back to my channel but aren't subscribing, or just don't have post notifications on. Make sure to turn those on. S&P 500, 536.50, still slightly green on the day. We pushed all the way up to 544.72. We initially thought we would get a higher gap up on the SPY, getting a little bit of a breakout, but we didn't get that. Not saying we can't get that yet. We are still about halfway through the trading day today, so we could very well get that. This is something that we had drawn out and anticipated in yesterday's video, where we'd build a low here right around 534, get this pop to between 533 or 553 and then 556, and then as at an all-time high, no more than 566. We didn't get up there at all. Okay, that's not to say that that won't come. We move on. Now, Donald Trump has said that the best definition of intelligence is the ability to predict the future. And I want to give a huge shout out to Roaring Kitty here. If you don't like him, that's fine. But this guy really predicted what was coming, and Trump did too. And then we are seeing these politicians front run crazy ass trades in the market, right? So the best definition of intelligence is the ability to predict the future. We got a lot of stuff to cover on AMC and GameStop. I'll try and run through it very briefly. One, AMC is actually looking really good. This setup is almost identical to the 2021 setup before we squoze or sneeze, right? So I'll get that out of the way. Looks great. A lot more institutions, this is just one example, are loading up on GameStop again with a lot of shares. And we are seeing some decent charts. Now, I do want to say something really quick. I look through Roaring Kitty's tweets every now and then, and I spend about a half hour each time. And a lot of times I get onto something and try and correlate it with the price, and then I'm not sure where this guy's going exactly, so I don't want to give you false hope. What I do know is that the point of interest when Roaring Kitty does tweet, and specific tweets, is GameStop is coming up with a little bit of momentum where these cycle patterns, like for example, you can see right here, these cycle patterns would crack to the downside. Or that's just one example, crack to the downside, right? But when we're scaling up like that and we have a chance at a point where we could explode higher, but the algorithms are going to try and push it down, these market makers are going to try and push it down, that's when Roaring Kitty comes out. So what I want to end with right there is that as we scale up, even if we get a crack down this week, that's fine. Leading into Monday, because I think Sunday night I think Sunday night, Roaring Kitty's absolutely coming back. Okay, so that's April 20th, Sunday night. It's going to be a fun weekend, a lot of anticipation. If nothing happens, GameStop's going to flush. But I'm willing to lose the money that I've put into these call options because we have a whale riding with us for these May 16th expiration as well, with a lot more money in than I have. Okay, so, and that could be very likely Roaring Kitty. So I'm willing to run this through. But what I'm saying is this build up, this lead up with institutions purchasing, he's likely to come out and he's going to try and kick it off. Now, with a little bit more tin, shout out to the Final Days of Rome over on X. He said I figure I'd share what I found regarding the Roaring Kitty Time Magazine post and when he returns. He basically goes on to state that it'll be an after hours move, most likely, as 174 days after Ryan Cohen's YOLO post on October 25th, 2024, which is April 16th. Now, there's a lot of tin going around, and tin or no tin, we just look at the chart setup and we know 420 is a date. After 420, you're likely to see a bunch of volume. It's the comeback, right? The resurrection technically of Jesus. The comeback, Roaring Kitty is going to drop a comeback on April 21st, April 20th, Sunday night, coming into the 21st. So next week will be a beautiful week, and that gives us the whole week to move higher. So this is exciting. I have high anticipation for this, and I also want to state this is just a little bit of Morton. You can see 109 days after he drops Chewy or Andy drops Woody, leads you to the present. 109 days after the present leads you to the Time Magazine post. I believe, I don't know if this is accurate. Okay, no, this leads you to March 25th, which is when GameStop announced earnings after the Time Magazine post 109 days after. Then you have 109 days after the present drop, April 13th, which was over the weekend. We didn't get anything today, but that's completely fine. 109 days after the Give It To Me Baby meme, 420, right? And then the last but not least, 109 days from his latest post, May 12th. So this is the tin that we have going forward. I also want to point something out very, very important. Disregarding tin, okay? GameStop Bitcoin. We all need to remember this because before they announced that they were buying Bitcoin, before there was a little bit of rumor this, rumor that, I said, well, it's almost certain GameStop's going to purchase Bitcoin and they're going to announce it on the earnings. And that's exactly what happened. They announced it on the earnings. They could have gotten a very good buy on Bitcoin at 74K, 75K, even anything under 80. And once this is announced, it's going to be beautiful. They could announce this Monday. They could announce this week. But what I'm saying is the announcement is going to come, in my personal opinion. That leads us into MicroStrategy. Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy buys another 3,459 Bitcoin worth $285.8 million. MicroStrategy also is building a candle above 300, which is a beautiful thing to see. This thing could have some room to run up to 362 very soon, especially if Bitcoin decides that it wants to start taking off. We had Webull IPO up 300%, trading at $53. IPO'd down here right around $10, and this thing has been halted several times all day. Moving on, Palantir. Palantir is building a nice candle above resistance, which is now becoming support. This is a beautiful thing to see. Keep an eye on Palantir. Even if we get a little bit of a retracement down to 90 or even 80, $88, I think Palantir is looking pretty good for the future for some leaps. Nothing I say is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. NATO has acquired an AI-powered military system from Palantir. Moving on, last but not least, Celsius. I've given you this stock for long-term portfolio, and it has just been bucking the trend. It clearly bottomed out, in my opinion, and it is trying to build a candle right above this resistance. It's a silent but deadly creep up that we're seeing over on Celsius, CELH. So keep this one on your radar. Also, The top link in the description of my video is going to bring you to my Discord server where you can get access to my trades as soon as I take them, talking with me and the most amazing people, best vibes, all on the daily. So it's basically a big group chat with us where we talk stocks and crypto. But on top of that, we have tons of tools in there where AI sends alerts on option sweeps, market news, analyst upgrades, dark pool trade alerts, insider trade alerts, and more. So get in the Discord server. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We are at 32.1 thousand subscribers. So thank you guys so much. And then the second link in the description, if you want to trade futures, they are finally starting to send payouts. Top One Futures, in other words, has had some successful traders and they just launched about a week ago. So if you guys haven't used my link yet to get a funded account, go do that. Don't sleep on it if you are a good trader. Put very simply, you get that 50K account for $200, which is half off using my code LOTTO. When you use that at checkout, it'll give you 50% off. Very limited time. This will not extend past April. And then you get a $50,000 funded account. All you got to do is not trade. I believe it's under 48,000. Don't let your account drop below that, or you'll get your account booted out. And then that's fine. Trade up. You get past 3K profit, you take your first payout, or you don't have to take a payout yet. You can take a payout, max payout, I believe, of up to 45K. And until you take a payout of over 20K, so the first 20K profit, that is all yours, no commission. And then after that, they only take 10%. So this is a crazy, crazy incentive for anyone who thinks they know how to trade or can trade. So go get that second link in the description. Use code LOTTO. Go get your free stocks. Join my Discord server. That is it, guys. I love you all. God bless. Let's make some money this week. Lottery Stocks out.